Hey, yo, what's the deal? That's your boy Tag from Pro Wrestling Tag. You know what I mean? As of this recording right now, it is 6:34 p.m. You know what I mean? July 14th, 2025. And if I sound a little sluggish, it's because I'm tired of the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like I just finished cooking food. You know what I mean? It's gonna rain here in New York. You know, and yeah. So I mean, there's been a lot of news. Nothing really sensational, but I feel like I need to bring this up. You know what I mean? Before I do that, I wanna say something real quick. Hold on, let me sip some water. Oh man. This is not pro wrestling related, but I feel like this is, I felt like I need to bring this up. Rest in peace to Ray DeJean, who used to be in Video Music Box. I remember seeing him like back in the early 2000s hosting, taking over for Ralph McDaniels. You know what I mean? So it was announced that he passed away today, and that was shocking. I'm like, oh man, I never met the dude personally, but an ex-girlfriend of mine had met him before. She told me that he was mad cool, and I believe her word. You know what I mean? So a big rest in peace shout out to Ray DeJean and such. I gotta talk about this because, it seems like always in the motherfucking community, it seemed like when talking about, AEW, even when it's the truth, like people always got some shit to say, especially like, journalists and defenders, right? Like defenders is one thing. They're always going to defend what they're blind to see, right? But when you have someone like Dave Meltzer, who basically is supposed to be biased, but clearly he's not. You know what I mean? When he defends AEW to the T. You know what I mean? Like, so there's a talent agent by the name of Nick Polacco, right? LoPiccolo, I'm sorry. LoPiccolo. LoPiccolo! You know what I mean? Not Piccolo, but Polacco. Nick LoPiccolo, right, who's an agent for many wrestling talents. He represents Paragon, right, who is the agent for a lot of WWE talent, right? CM Punk, Liv Morgan, et cetera, et cetera. So he put out a tweet about, dealing with AEW and how, he basically called the AEW backstage atmosphere chaotic, and he called it a Mickey Mouse business that fails to run like a serious business. CM Punk also said the same thing, right? And if listen, if this guy is basically saying, he's an agent, right? If he's saying what we're all talking about, right? Then something's up. He's a Hollywood agent, but he's had dealings with AEW, and he even said that it's not a serious business. You know what I mean? AEW is nowhere near. They're not a serious. They're not. They're fucking not. They're not. You know what I mean? They're not a serious business. I mean, he used the word Mickey Mouse operation. You know what I mean? So basically, it's all fun and no business. They don't. And this is why AEW would never grow, right? This is why AEW would never grow and such. So Meltzer online, right, on X, goes down. He goes off on a meltdown, right? And he basically tries to he tries to dismiss what LoPiccolo says and where his actual clients witness, right? But who better to tell the truth than the people that's actually backstage and such, right? And the wrestlers even said it themselves. Like, AEW is not, they're not a real business. Come on, Ethan Page said this. Ricky Starks also, allude to this too. saying that it's so chaotic back there that it's not even funny, right? And of course, Meltzer, who, by the way, has no real agent experience or executive experience, basically, like I said, tried to, I'm not even going to put the tweet out, what Meltzer said, but you could just imagine. You know what I'll do? I'll probably get a link, to the actual thing that Meltzer said. Maybe I might do it. I'm going to do that. Fuck it, I'm going to do that. And then, of course, the AEW sickos do what they do best, right? When they can't take reality, they try to dig. They try to dig into, the personal life of the guy. But then they found out they come up short. They couldn't find anything, right? And this is the problem with, AEW and the sickos and the fans and such, right? When you have people like that who basically, who tells the truth about AEW and such, people don't like that, right? So this guy basically exposed how AEW really is. Again, they're not a real business. I mean, they deal with clients, and such that that pretty much, wants to get stuff out of their career as opposed to what you see in AEW, right? So, and of course, Paragon works with WWE. Like, they got a lot of people under their, under their brand, right? So Meltzer, like I said, tries to defend this company, right, by trying to discredit what the guy said, but he came up fucking short. So Meltzer has a fucking meltdown. Meltzer meltdown. Dave meltdown. He has a fucking meltdown. But this is what I'm talking about with Meltzer. Meltzer will defend AEW to the T. You know what I mean? He will try to play stupid with everybody. And, him, Sean Ross Sapp, they try to paint a reality of AEW that's not real. You know what I mean? They try to paint a reality of AEW that it don't exist. And this is why AEW is in the shit that is in at this point. There's why. So when you got shit like this, right, this is why people don't want to be in AEW. This is why people don't want to stay in AEW. Because of this garbage nonsense. You know what I mean? So when you try to discredit an agent, a fucking agent, you know what I mean, who said himself that the AEW is it's a cookie cutter promotion. You know what I mean? It's a Candyland promotion. It's not a serious business. It's not fucking serious. It's not. It's fucking not. You know what I mean? And you want to defend this company? Get the fuck out of here. I mean, suck my dick. I don't know, man. But these defenders, a lot of these defenders have no life. They live in their mother's basement. They probably have, AEW logo tattooed, on their body and stuff like, boy, man, you're a loser, man. You're a fucking loser. You know what I mean? Go eat your fucking pizza bagels and shut the fuck up. And Dave, keep playing Mr. Delusional, man, because you've been taking more L's than, you took more L's than than the Detroit Lions from many, many years ago. Remember when the Detroit Lions they went in a season when they were winless? That's basically what Dave Meltzer is. You know what I mean? Fucking loser. I'm about to be out. You know what I mean? This might be the only video I do for the night because I am fucking out of it, yo. It's going to rain. It's hot in this motherfucker. And plus, I want to do some stuff on the computer. So I'm going to definitely holler at y'all. I'm going to check y'all. All right? Peace.